So looking at another one like that last example. So let's see, 6%. 6% of 83. So again, if the percent here is before the word of, then that's going to be multiplication. So we have to change this to a decimal.
So you're just going to move it over one.
Well, you always move it two places. So yeah, always move it two places to the left to change a percent to a decimal. And again, that's taking that. Now that gives us 0.0 by moving it two places. Times 83. So when we set it up, we have to look at the place values that we have to move to get the decimal to the end. So in this case, two places. You see that?
Yep.
And of course, the 83 is a whole number, so that's 0 places. So that means that in the end, we're going to be moving the decimal. After we do our multiplication, we're going to be moving our decimal back two places to the left. So now we can just take the numbers themselves. So 83 times 6, because we know how many places we have to move. So here we get 18 for that, and then 6 times 8, 48 plus the 1, so 49. Right, so we're moving back 2.
And then do you have to write the percent sign at the bottom, at the end of it?
No, that's the value, because we're taking 6% of that number.
You're getting the value of the 83.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So for our answers, 6% of 83 is 4.98.
So that's how I would write out the answer?
Yes. Well, you will be looking at your final answer. The final answer is 4.98. So does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, good. So this way works again when we have the percent of the number. But if we're trying to find the percent, let's see here. Okay. So,
This one I understand.
okay. So with this one here, finding the percent, when we're actually looking for the percent. The last example we were given, the percent. So when we're finding the percent, we want to write a fraction out of the two numbers given, where the number after the word of is the denominator. So and then reduce, of course. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have a meeting coming up. Let me see. Let me make sure. So we're going to take a look at this example here where we're being asked what percent of 48 is 18. And if you look at what we use as the rules, the number after the word of is the denominator. So we're going to write this as a fraction with the number after the word of being the denominator. So it becomes 18 out of 48. And then we want to try to reduce this as much as possible. So if we do that, we can start out by looking at what we can break this down to. So we can break that down to 6 times 3 and 6 times 8. So we can cancel out the 6's. And we're left with the fraction 3 over 8. Now the next rule tells us to change the fraction to a decimal. So we can do that by long division. And so we're going to change this fraction to a decimal. So we write it as 8 divided by 3.00 because 8 is going to divide into 30. So let's bring that decimal up. 8 is going to divide into 30. So 3 times. And then 3 times 8 is 24. So 6 is left over. drop down to 0. And now 8 is going to so 8 goes into 60 7 times. And we have 56. 7 times 8, 56. Have a 4 there, and we can add on another 0 and drop that down. And so the decimal number .375, and then as a percent, so a decimal 2%, because that's what we're being asked for. Moving the decimal 2 places to the right. So 37.5%. So we're asked what percent of 48 is 18? The percent is 37.5%. So here we're using estimation to find the product of a number. In estimation, what we do is we round the number to allow only one non-zero digit. So that's the first thing that we do, is we do that rounding. But keep in mind, we look at the first digit, and if the second digit is 5 or more, then we can round up. But if the second digit is less than 5, then we round it to just the first digit and the rest as zeros. And then we're going to make the calculation with the rounded number. So that's how we use estimation. So in our example here, we have 685 times 4,123. And we want to use estimation to multiply those two. So first thing that we want to do is round the numbers. So 685, well, 6 is the first number, so the second number is more than 5, is 5 or more, so the 6 is going to go up to 7, and this will become to 700. So we want to allow only one non-digit zero, one non-zero digit. So 700, and then times. So again, we look at the first digit for the next one, which is a 4. The second digit is less than 5, so this goes down to 4,000. Okay. So now we're just at a matter of making a calculation. And what we can do is we can look at 7 times 4. So 7 times 4 is 28. Now we can fill in the zeros. So we have 2 zeros from the first factor, and then 3 zeros for the next factor. Put in our commas. So when we round this by estimation, we find that our result is 2,800,000.